Could you imagine Candy Crush the movie or Clash of Clans the movie? No. So you wouldn't think that Angry Birds the movie would work. But it does. I went into Angry Birds the movie thinking, this is gonna be terrible. It's just some kid's movie. I'm not gonna like it. I just wanted to see a movie, and that's what I went in to do. I went to go see a movie, because it was either that or the new Alice in Wonderland movie, and I didn't really like the first one all that much, so didn't really want to see the second one. So I went to go see Angry Birds. That's what I went to go see. And I was pleasantly surprised. I was thrilled with the movie. I thought it was great. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything, and I'm not going to spoil anything in any of these reviews. The story of Angry Birds follows the story of the red Angry Bird, who goes by the name Red. Pretty clever name, I guess. But this movie is about Red, and he has an anger issue. Go figure. And it follows his adventure to becoming not angry. And a whole lot of other stuff happens, like the pigs from Angry Birds. They come in here and they mess stuff up and they try to take the eggs, just like in the game. For a movie that's based off of a mobile app, Angry Birds the movie did a really good job at it. Like, I was really surprised at how they took a game that's about making the bird fly across and destroy objects where pigs are, and they turned that into a movie. Now, if you were trying to come up with an idea on how to do that, it would probably be somewhere focused around the pigs stealing the eggs. But in order to make the movie attractive to the audience, they were taking those characters and giving them personality, something that they really couldn't do in the app based on how the game is played. First, we have Red, who I've already talked about, who is the main character this whole entire thing. Now, if you take the other characters, like if the yellow bird who flies across the screen, in this movie, he's Chuck, and he's really fast-paced about everything he does, and he talks really fast, and he goes around really fast, and his personality matches that according to how the game is. And then there's the bomb guy. I can't really remember his name right now off the top of my head, but he explodes like he does in the thing, but they treat it as if it's a fart. Good job, kids movie. Fart jokes aside, this movie has a lot of jokes in it. It is super funny. The thing about it is, though, is that it also has what I like to call Shrek humor. Shrek humor is adult humor. They have sexual jokes in this movie, and a lot. But these sexual jokes, they're jokes that kids won't understand. They're the kind of obscure jokes that are just go through one ear and out the other. Like, this movie was so funny to me because of all of those jokes. But you could still take your kid to this movie and watch it with them. I gave the story of this movie an 8. That was my score for it. And the reason for that is because of all the sexual jokes. But it is so hard to turn a game into a movie. You can see that through all of the video game movie adaptations that there are not really good ones. Now, there's the new Assassin's Creed that's coming out, and they're talking about, Nintendo's talking about making some movies. There's no telling what they're going to do with that, but I think that Angry Birds is the first step to turning a video game into a good movie, even though it's a mobile app. The acting in this movie was great. And by acting, of course, it's animated. I mean voice acting. But if I have to give props, it'd have to be for Josh Gad's performance as Chuck, the really fast bird. Josh Gad is known for doing Olaf from Frozen. Some people want to forget that. Some people don't like Olaf. But Josh Gad did great as Chuck. He was really fast-paced, and he was really funny with his character. And the other character, I can't remember her name. I wish I could. She plays the white bird. I can't remember her name either. But I'm trying to not give away any spoilers either. She plays a therapist in the movie. She plays a therapist for the anger management. And she is hilarious with her part. She did a great job. I was looking up her IMDb earlier, but I don't even know who she is. Like, I've never heard her name, and it might be my own fault that I don't know who she is. But I think she did great. The acting in this is superb, and I gave the acting in this a 9. Music is a weird subject to talk about because the music in this movie was like any typical kids movie with the uppity music. It kind of reminded me of Madagascar at points. But there was one part in the movie, I'm not going to say what was happening, but I will say what song was happening. They were playing country music. And I'm not a huge fan of country music. But the thing is that the country music was worked into a joke that was happening in the movie. And the way they did it was hilarious. And I loved it. And I'm not going to tell you what was happening because I would just ruin the movie, and I don't want to do that. But I'm not a big fan of country music. But this particular part was hilarious. But I deducted points because I don't like country music. But it still got an 8. I gave the music in this an 8. And now we go over to cinematography. The one scene that I think of when I think of cinematography is the big moment at the end, the last scene. There's so much going on, and it's awesome. It looks cool. They did it well. I know it's animated, but doing that stuff is hard, and I decided to give the cinematography an 8. Along with it being cool, there wasn't a lot of really cool shots, but with the ones that were there, it looked amazing. This is my first review, and I have to talk about editing, and this is an animated movie. How am I going to talk about editing? Editing in an animated movie. Now, I'm sure that what it mostly comes down to is someone animating all the stuff and then someone splicing it together. When I'm talking about editing in an animated movie, I'm more talking about how the animations look. They were good. I enjoyed the way the characters looked, if I'm going to consider that in the editing phase. The characters fit who they were supposed to look like. There's a part in the movie where Red is being angled just in one direction where you can see him and he looks exactly like he does on the original Angry Birds poster for the game. And that made me think, wow, they really did a great job at capturing the way that these characters look and the way that they're supposed to look according to the app. I think I'm going to give editing a 7. And the reason that I'm going to give it a 7 is not because of the way the characters look or how they were animated. There were a few spots in the movie where I felt like some scenes dragged on a little longer than they should have, but it didn't entirely take away from the movie. I thought that it could have been edited a little bit better, but other than that, the characters looked great. They were animated well. Wow, I can't believe how much I love this movie about a mobile app. Now it is time for my overall score. Before we give our overall score, Caleb, why don't you tell the fellow guests what our overall score is sponsored by? Sure thing, Caleb. Our overall score is sponsored by Neopets, the Darkest Fairy. Whenever you don't have anything else to watch, head on over to Murph Dat Gaming and watch Neopets, the Darkest Fairy. It's one of our better playthroughs. But we never finished it. The overall score for this movie is an 8 out of 10. This movie is definitely worth a watch. You should definitely go see it. If you're not into kids movie, then this will still be good. It has tons of jokes that you will get, a lot of pop culture references that kids won't get. But if you're looking to taking your kids to go see the movie, same thing. There are a lot of kids jokes and all the adult jokes they won't understand depending on their age. This movie is hilarious and it's a lot of fun to watch, so I suggest you go see it today. I hope everybody enjoyed this first review that I've ever done, and I definitely hope you come around to see the next one. Give me some ideas on what to review. This was the first time I've ever done this sort of thing, and give me some comments on what you think I should do to improve myself, or if I did terrible and I should never do it again. You know, give me a comment. Also, hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it if I had some support on how I do this and just telling me what I need to do to improve myself. Hit the like button, hit the dislike button if you didn't like it. I need to know. So, yeah, thanks guys, and I definitely hope to see you in the next one. Alright everybody, see ya!